where houses are moving and like under contract, like every day. And everything that you're seeing is going under contract. That means you may need to readjust your schedule to where you can go see the properties as soon as it hits the market.
You gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association.
All right, guys. Welcome to YMA Nation Podcast, episode number 39.
39.
And today is Real Estate Wednesday.
Real Estate Wednesday.
Look, she's excited.
Yes.
I am Joe Wallace, and this is
Rebecca Wallace.
I think everyone probably knew us, so we kind of moved away from that. But I think we need to say it 'cause there's a lot of new people that's following.
Right.
So I am Joe Wallace, and this is Rebecca Wallace, and this is the YMA Nation Podcast, and this is episode number 39.
39.
This is her show today.
Y'all ready?
Are you guys ready? What are we talking about today?
I'm excited because last week we had our lender friend on, Amy Osborne from Homebridge Financial Services, and she talked a lot about the lending process and what that looked like to obtain a pre-approval for your home loan.
Right.
So we went through steps 1 through 3 for you guys. So if you didn't see those, then you can go back and watch the last 3 episodes.
The last 3 episodes.
Yes, because we're breaking everything down step by step. So once you have followed steps 1 through 3 and you have now obtained your pre-approval, like that's like one of the major like breaking points right there. Okay. You have a pre-approval in hand,
now
right?
What?
Now what? So finding your dream home.
Finding your dream home. If you guys are ready for this subject, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you could get all the great content week over week.
So finding your dream home. What do you think? What's your dream home?
My dream home?
Yeah.
I think I'm in my dream home. No,
yep.
no, because we're gonna, yeah. So,
oh Lord, never mind. I retract.
Oh no,
I retract the question.
Oh, let me go back. Okay,
I retract.
When we got our house, that was my dream home. Like, wow, this is beautiful.
Right.
But now, as we are, growing,
progressing,
right. Now the dream home is that house with the basketball court, indoors, the indoor basketball court, having that built inside the house. Because my dream home is built.
Right.
Right. It's not, you just can't go and find it anywhere. Indoor basketball court, indoor pool. I like to swim. I'm a swimmer. I know I'm black, but I was in the Navy. I did search and rescue, so I love to swim. So indoor pool is good exercise too.
I'm not asking any more questions.
Yeah, okay. Because I'll take over her show, but that's my dream house. And my dream house too is to have a closet that's the size of almost a bedroom because I need room.
We know.
Yeah, so
Hey, ladies, most of the time, it's the men that are more difficult about finding the house than the women. This is facts.
Is that facts?
Yes.
So, yeah, but that's my dream home.
Great. So, you know what you want. And I'm glad that you said that when we purchased the home that we're in right now, that was our dream home for that time. But now that we're moving in different parts of our life, that dream home has changed.
Right.
Over the years, because what your dream home is today may not be what your dream home will be 4 or 5 years from now.
Right.
And what you can afford to buy today may not be your dream home. It may be something that is going to sustain you for the next couple of years until you can progress into your dream home.
Right.
So, yes, this is about finding your dream home, but it's also educational about reality and what is realistic about a dream home and what to expect in the process.
Can I jump in?
Yes.
As people, like, say if I had a job and say I made $40,000 a year, and say you had a job and you made $40,000 a year, and we got like a total household income of $80,000.
Right.
And then we go and find a house, and the house could be like $300,000. Like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful home ever. And that's your dream home at that time. But then say like the next year I get a raise and I'm at 60,000 and you get a raise and our income is 120. Then the next year we get a raise, and then say our household income has gone from 80,000 to 150,000. Now you're like, man, we got a lot of cash that's left after we pay all our expenses every month. Now your dreams change, and that's the reality.
That's the reality.
Right? People get a raise. The first thing they think about is what can I go and spend it on? I'm trading in my car.
Yeah, this was a really great car 2 years ago, but I'm making more money. I can afford a better, more reliable car now, so I'm gonna go upgrade.
That's the same thing with your dream and your dream home.
Right. So, first of all, you have to, once you get your pre-approval, that's going to tell you what you can afford.
Okay.
So your pre-approval dictates what your buying power is. It's called buying power. And that don't mean that you have to go find a house for that much. Let's say I'm pre-approved for $250,000, but I don't want a $250,000 mortgage. You don't have to spend the whole $250,000.
Right.
You can spend $200,000 if that's where you're comfortable at. It depends on, are you able to find what you're wanting in that $200,000 mark?
Right.
So just because you have a pre-approval for a certain amount doesn't mean you have to spend all of that money. Just means you can go up to that amount.
Budget.
Because I get a lot of questions on that.
Budget.
So I want to make sure that people understand you don't have to spend all of that. That's what they're saying you can buy up to. That's what you can afford based on your income and your credit and things like that.
Budget. You have a budget. That'll tell you how much you should be spending.
Exactly. So when you get a pre-approval, either you're working with an agent already and your agent has sent you to a lender that they work with, or you Googled and found a lender on your own and did the application and they gave you a pre-approval and you don't have an agent. So if you do not have an agent, your next step is going to be get an agent. One agent. Find an agent that you want to exclusively work with and that you entrust with helping you in your home search. Now, you may find an agent and you talk to them. Talk to a couple of agents, but don't have agents taking you to look at properties and doing different things with you if you're not exclusively with that agent.
I think that's important to understand that too.
Yeah, it causes a lot of conflict. We are licensed within our states. So there's some regulations that go against, customer conflict and things like that. So, we want to protect each other as agents. So make sure that you work with one agent. So the first thing is you have to get an idea of what it is that you're looking for. Are you looking for a 1-story ranch home? Are you looking for a 2-story? Do you want 3 bedrooms? Do you want 4 bedrooms? Do you want 2 bathrooms? What are some features that you prefer to have in your home? Do you prefer hardwood over carpet? Do you want a split floor plan where your master suite is on one side and the other rooms are on the other side of the house?
I started off checking it every other week, just like most people do. Then it got out of control. I couldn't help myself. I started checking it day after day after day. I didn't realize that I was becoming addicted until my wife said something.
What did she say?
She said, "It's just a credit score, relax."
Are you checking your credit score?
Huh? Hold on.
Do you want a basement home or a crawl space or a slab? And what's the pros and cons to all of those things? These are things that you want to have conversations with your agent about because they are going to be able to tell you what pros and cons are. What type of acreage are you looking for? I have
That's
a lot
land.
of people. That's land. I have a lot of people will say, what lot size do you want? Well, I just don't want to be squished up houses next to one another.
No one wants that.
No one wants that. I promise. I could tell you out of 10 conversations that I have, 9 of those people are going to say, I don't want a house right next to another house.
Right.
Right. that's great. But understand what you're looking for. And a lot of times you could say, well, I want a 1/4 acre lot. Well, sometimes it depends on how that house is positioned on the lot. And so a 1/4 acre yard may actually look smaller than, a 0.17 yard just because of the way they have positioned the house on the land. So it's good to kind of look online, but
Zillow, watch this.
no. They can go to www.rebecca-wallace.kw.com
Okay.
for property searches. And
Say it again, please.
www.rebecca-wallace.kw.com.
So if they writing it down, can you spell it like www.re?
REBECCA and then a dash and then WALLACE.KW.com.
2 dots. Wallace.kw.com.
Yep.
You guys got it? All right.
Yep. So you
How
go
can they
there.
call? Like, say if they just got questions that they want to call.
864-275-4564.
In the office? Give them all the information.
Okay. They can call. We'll get to it.
864-275-4564.
Yes.
Blow it up.
Okay. So you have to have an idea of what you're looking for. However, pictures online do lie. They lie. How many houses did we look at online and we're like, oh, this is just great.
Oh, man.
Yes,
we got to go see this. And then you get there.
Is this what we saw online?
Yeah.
No way.
They must have photoshopped this.
So pictures do lie. And that's why listing agents stay competitive in the market, because they hire the best photographers to come in to make the house look absolutely gorgeous online.
That's their
especially
job,
in the
though.
right. That's the job, is to list. I list properties. I know. So I go get the best photographer I can that's going to display the property the absolute best to get that property sold.
To make it look appealing.
Right. It's all about marketing. So just because you see it online and it looks all pretty, pictures can lie.
So go out and see that property.
Well, this is what I recommend.
This is what she recommends. She's the expert.
Yes. I recommend that if you're interested in a property, you are allowed to drive by the property and the area and the community and find out exactly where the location of the property is and what the outside of the property looks like. I mean, you can tell that from driving by on the road. You don't have to stop. I mean, you just riding by the property. You can tell what the yard looks like. You can tell what the outside of the house looks like. You can tell what the neighborhood looks like. And that way, you're doing a couple of things. Number one, you're determining if that's an actual area that you would want to live in. You're determining if the houses around that are something that brings up the value of that property, right? Because you don't want to ride by and then you have a house that's fallen in next door,
Right.
Or unless they're remodeling the area and you know that demolition's coming in and doing things with the property. But you kind of want to do your own little ride-bys of the areas to see if it's even worth you taking your agent to...
Go and see it.
Because, a lot of times you're not the only buyer that your agent's working with. If they're working with 10 buyers and they're doing showings every single day, and then we're going to get to that too, you want to make sure it's something that you actually truly interested in. It's something in an area that you're interested in, so you're not wasting that agent's time where they could be taking you to something that's going to be more realistic for you.
Right.
So
And let me jump in too, because one of the great things that's online too is to check the crime level of the area, and that is available online, because if you check the crime level, it gives like a is it like a rating? I can't recall, but it shows you like from high to low, and then it's like red, yellow, and green.
Everything that you want to know about that property, most of everything that you want to know, there's a website for, or you can find it online.
Yeah, but our agent back years ago, when we rolled by, it was a certain area I can recall. We went inside the neighborhood, and there was a couch in the front of somebody's house with beer cans on the grass in the front. And then you ride down, and there's like hopscotch marks on the ground, on the concrete. And then on a pole, there's a pair of Converse hanging up. You know, back in the day, they throw the shoes up. But it makes you think, okay, what type of neighborhood?
Yeah, I can't really speak on that.
Right. Well, but I'm just saying from my perspective as a buyer, if I was driving through that type of neighborhood, I'd be like, I don't know if this like the neighborhood I want to be in or my kids in.
So that's him from a buyer's perspective.
From a buyer's perspective.
As a licensed, I can't speak on that.
Right. So I can say what I want to say on the show.
I can't speak on that.
Okay.
You have to do your own research. That's all I can tell you.
All right.
Research. So if you find a property that you're interested in, whether you're on Zillow, Realtor.com, if you visit my website through KW, or, you know, any of those things, contact the agent that you are exclusively working with and say, hey, I'm interested in this property. Because you do not want to contact the information that is on Zillow for the agent that has it listed, or an agent that's randomly on Zillow. Because if you're already committed and working with an agent exclusively, that's who you need to be contacting for anything that you're interested in. It makes things a lot easier. There's not conflict of information. You don't have one agent doing something over here and this agent doing something over here. It's not in your best benefit to do that, because it just conflicts things for the agents at the end of the day.
Right. Because I would think if I have an agent and their job is to work in my best interest, right? And I call someone and they give me some information that my agent is not privy to, and I don't communicate that, then I can see where the conflict could happen.
And not only that, but let's say that the agent's information on Zillow or Realtor.com is that listing agent's information, right? Or you fill out the form online that you're interested in the property,
right,
and then it gets forwarded to the listing agent. That listing agent is working for that listing. Now, you being an agent, you can work on the listing and the buyer side with no problem. I mean, I've done it. So you can work on both sides of the transaction. But if you are are working with an agent exclusively, again, you do not want them having to go back and forth to determine who gets credit for that transaction because you've been in contact with different agents, right? So pick an agent, utilize that agent. If you're not happy with that agent, terminate that agent, and then go find another agent.
Ooh, terminate that agent. Okay, let's move on.
Agents are hired.
Right.
Right? So at the end of the day, it's a customer relationship.
Right.
So you hire the agent. You can fire the agent. Right? I have like people ask like, well, what if I'm not happy with my agent? Well, it's not like it's written in stone and you're stuck with that person forever. If you're not happy with the service, if they're not meeting your standards, if you're not happy with them, you can terminate that agency agreement with them. There's a simple document that you can sign and say, hey, you know, this relationship isn't working. I want to try to use a different agent. That's your decision as a buyer.
Right.
Right? So you have the right to do that. Write down a list of things that you must have versus things that you want.
Okay.
Must have and want. Like, I must have 3 bedrooms because I have children, and, you know, I need 2 bathrooms because I want my children to have their own bathroom away from my bathroom. And I don't want all of us sharing one bathroom and everybody trying to get ready in the morning, right?
Right.
So I have to have 2 bathrooms. I could live with 1.5 because that half a bathroom is still going to give me that extra space. But I would prefer 2 bathrooms.
Right.
You see the difference in that?
Definitely.
So you have to determine what your needs are versus what your wants are. The best way to do that is create a checklist and say, this is what I actually need. This is what I want to make it my dream home, right? And then based on what you're approved for, the amount that you're approved for, and what you're able to find in that price range, you may have to negotiate some of these wants for right now, but you're still getting all of your needs.
That's important too. So, and it'll help you to become more comfortable in a transaction and on your house search.
Right.
Like, well, I know I need this, and I would like a fence, but if there's a fence that's not available, I'm okay with that. But
Right.
I gotta have that 3-bedroom and 2-bath. But and I would like to have a big backyard. But if not, you know, for the kids. But if not, as long as I find that 3-bedroom, 2-bath, I'm happy.
I'm happy. Right. So, the next thing, do not overload yourself with showings or going to see houses. It does not benefit you.
Why not?
So, a lot of people, they'll send their agent like 6, 7, 8, 9 houses, right? And I want to go see all these houses. That doesn't benefit you, because I can tell you from experience that by the time you get to that 8th house, you have forgotten what the first house even looked like. You do not know what the first house looked like. You may remember bits and pieces of it, but you don't remember fully what that house looks like or what the features are that you really liked about the house. I always tell people, limit to yourself to 3 to 5. By the time you get to 5, you should pick out something that you like. If you haven't picked out what you like by number 5, you need to reassess what you're looking at.
Right.
Because apparently you do not have the right list in place, right? So 3 to 5, take you a piece of paper and a pen. And that way you can track or have your agent print out the listing for you. And that way, we used to do it when we went house searching, and we'd write notes about what we liked and what we
Right.
didn't like. But that helps you go back if it's just you, then you can go back and review it. If it's you and your significant other, then y'all can review it together and say, oh yeah, I remember we really like this about this house, or we really like this about this house. But it will help you understand if your list actually has the right things on it or if it doesn't.
One thing that I recall doing is having a cell phone, and as we went into the house, took pictures.
Yeah.
Took pictures and then wrote down notes on the things that we like, because it may be a person where if on this Saturday, if you go and see a house on Saturday, then possibly the next week you have to work. Mm-hmm. So you can't. And then the following week you go see a house. So at least you have like the notes to backtrack on and the pictures too.
And I'm going to say this.
She's going to say this.
And I tell my buyer agents to tell buyers this often. If you have to sleep on it, you will not sleep in it. If you have to sleep on it, you will not sleep in it. What does that mean?
that means that you're not sure. That's it. Like when we walked into our house, we knew that was it.
Right.
Put an offer.
Right.
Put an offer.
Right.
Highest, whatever. Yeah. Right
this
now.
is it. Right.
Yeah. This is it. Like, do it.
So that means if you have to think about it in this market, especially if you're under 200,000 and you're going to be in a multiple offer situation, if you have to think about it for a day or two, guess what? You are not going to be in that house. So you might as well just not even think about it anymore after you say it.
Well, I think she's saying that because the houses are moving so fast that if you take a day or two and then you call back and we see this happening,
it's going to be under contract.
We're like, oh yeah, that house under contract already. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So
if you don't know and you have to think about it, then, and you have to be ready. Like, the way the market is, if you see a house online and you contact your agent and it's in a certain price point, well, I'm speaking for the upstate of South Carolina because that's where a lot of our buyers are. And I know that it's like this in certain other growing areas as well.
Right.
But just because I talk to agents in different areas too. But if you know that you're in a price point where houses are moving, and like under contract, like every day, and everything that you're seeing is going under contract, that means you may need to readjust your schedule to where you can go see the properties as soon as it hits the market.
Right.
And I would tell buyers, I was like, you have to be willing to leave work, like when you get off work, and go straight to a showing.
Right.
Because
don't
if
just
you wait.
Yeah, don't just leave work.
Don't just leave work. But, you know, if you get off early, schedule a showing that day. Or as soon as you get off, if you work third, as soon as you get off in the morning, start showings at like 9 and, 9 or 10 o'clock, and then go get your rest.
Right.
Because the home buying process is just, especially in certain price points, it's just so volatile that you'll miss opportunities just by not being available.
Right.
So you have to make your schedule available.
And it's only that short period of time, because once you got that house under contract, then you just fall back and take care of the paperwork.
Right. And then your agent guides you through like inspections and appraisals and things like that. And then you're getting all your documents to the lender to be able to close.
Right.
Last but not least, because we're getting ready to wrap up, but this is one of the most important parts of this, finding your dream home. Listen to your agent. Listen to your agent.
Listen to your agent.
Look, if you have talked to agents and you have hired the agent that's going to be your buyer agent and help you through this transaction, if they are a high selling agent and they work with buyers day in and day out and they deal with buyers in all different price ranges, I can guarantee you that the same thing you're looking at, someone else is looking at.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The house that you've walked through, they probably walked through it before, or they've seen it, or they've done research on it. Listen to your agent. Sometimes they're telling you no to help you. The no is to help you. No, this is not going to be a good house for you to go look at. No, I've experienced clients get frustrated because I'm like, no, we're not going to go look at that house. Not in a mean way or saying, just
no, I don't got time for
right.
you. Right. It's
just that agents are privy to sellers' disclosures, which gives you more information about the property on the MLS, where the listing service that gives you more details about the property. And the agent may see red flags in there that lets them know that this is not going to be a good fit for you, that this house isn't going to work for you, because if you are a VA home buyer, or you are a USDA home buyer, or you're an FHA home buyer, and there's going to be certain specifications that have to be done within the house for you to be able to close, and the agent sees that on this documentation, then they're going to be like, this may not be the best path for you because there's going to be issues. And so to make a smoother transition, we just had it with a buyer. VA, the CL100 has to pass on a VA loan. CL100 has to pass on a VA loan.
They don't know what a CL100 is.
That's a termite inspection.
That's a termite inspection.
And if you have a crawl space, it also includes the moisture levels in the crawl space or basement, right? They have to be under a certain percent. If it fails, you cannot close on the home. You can't close. It has to pass. That means the inspector has to come back to the house and come back to the house until it passes. That can push out your closing, you know? Listen to your agent. Like, they've probably seen multiple scenarios that are similar to what you're doing, what you're looking at, what you're looking for. And, you know, if their passion and their intent is in the right place, then all they're trying to do is help you and avoid bad situations.
Of course.
So listen to your agent, find the right agent for you, and they will help you find your dream home.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Boom, boom.
And if you have questions, comment below any questions that you have, or you can call the Pyramid Group with Keller Williams at 864-249-1437. And as for Leanna, yes, or Rebecca.
Leanna, she put you on blast.
I know. Get ready, Leanna. I will.
Any questions you have, 864-249-1437.
Yep.
The
Or
Pyramid Group
at Keller Williams.
at Keller Williams. The Pyramid Group at Keller Williams. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for episode number 39.
Yes.
Man, I remember talking about episode 3.
I know. But
Guys,
it's been fun, guys. So
Yes.
keep following and watching. Information, knowledge is power.
knowledge is power. Make sure you hashtag down in the comment section YMA Nation to go in our drawing at the end of the month. Like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe.
Buy a house 2021. What you waiting on?
Hey, but I like that. Buy a house 2021. We'll see you on Friday.
View what the boss's view. You gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association.